All right, everybody. So this is the Garmin Striker 4 sonar ice bundle. It's got the ice transducer, dual beam transducer. So that means it's detecting activity in a more wider broadband circle. Instead of shooting a beam just straight down and detecting what's straight below the hole, it's actually picking up fish activity fanned out beyond this hole, so many feet out in a circle. It's dual beam transducer. See, there's a lot of noise going on right now. It's picking up probably me rustling around on the surface of the ice. There's only 8 inches of ice. So that this is super sensitive. These sonars are very sensitive. They can pick up noise on the surface, a bunch of activity down at the bottom. They can, if you go to traditional fish finder, it'll show the bottom. Showing right now a fairly flat. It's showing a fairly flat bottom. And you can see it's picking up some weeds, some vegetation down there. Probably some weeds and rocks and things. You can see all the little marks on there. Fairly flat bottom, 17 point, nearly 18 feet deep here. So about 17 feet. So that's the fish finder. Go to flasher. He's picking up a lot of noise, a lot of flashing going on. So what I'll do is I'll push this button right here. It's a menu button up here on the top right. You got your range and your gain. Range is just your depth. Whether or not you can set that to accommodate the depth of the water column that your transducer's in. I don't normally ever mess with the range. The range does well on auto. As you see, it's already set on auto. But the gain, on the other hand, you definitely want to set that. Set to auto medium. It has auto for gain, but I like to push on the up arrow in the center. And see I'm at 89%. I like to adjust it to about 85%. See, the noise went away. Nice clear screen. No noise going on. It's not detecting a whole bunch of interference. 85% has always worked great for me for the gain setting on this Garmin Striker 4. And then you push the check mark to okay it. And look, see, it's not showing all that noise. It did a little mark flash, so there could be some shiners or could be a trout right here. There was a flash, a little mark showed up right here around 15 feet. Could have been a trout, could have been a bait fish. All right, so now let's show you what it looks like with the lure. If I'm going to try to catch brook trout on the VMC rattle. It's a little rattle lure. See, it makes a little rattle sound. I got a hit on it the other day. A couple days ago I was fishing here and I think a trout. I saw on the Garmin, on the flasher. The flasher showed a fish coming up from the bottom. And I got ready in it. And I got a big hit. I got a couple different hits here with this. I believe it to be from trout. It's a VMC rattle. Some rattle type lure. It's green and silver and yellow. Treble hook, makes a little rattle sound. So I'm gonna try to catch some trout, jigging with a little rattle lure. And I've got my trap set up with shiners. See what we can do. Let's drill a hole. Get to it. There. Let's do it. So I'm using the Garmin Striker 4 sonar. It's got traditional fish finder. It's got a flasher for ice fishing. And it's the ice fishing bundle. I have the ice fishing transducer. It's a dual beam transducer for that Striker 4. Its ability to detect fish is greater than, rather than just shooting a beam to the bottom. It's got a dual beam transducer, so it can it's pretty much picking up fish activity in a big wide area, big wide circle around the hole. So it's a great trend, and it's a chirp sound. That sonar has a chirp sound. When it detects a fish, it'll chirp. So the ice bundle, the Garmin Striker 4 ice bundle with a dual beam transducer, chirps when it signals a fish, when it detects fish. And yeah, it has a split frequency fish finder. It has traditional fish finder, has the sonar. You can adjust the gain manually or put it on auto. The gain is just whether or not it's detecting all the disturbance on the surface, or you want to adjust your gain. I do well with 85% on the gain. That clears up all the noise, like me on the surface or anything near the surface, or any other unwanted, unnecessary disturbance. That 85% seems to work great for me for the gain. When I always adjust the gain to about 85%, and that picks up my lure really well, and it shows the mark of a fish coming to check out the lure. So that works out well for me. That gain setting on the Striker 4 flasher. There it is, falling to the bottom. See it, the yellow, red. There, boom! It hit bottom. Flip my bail. I'm gonna reel up a little bit. There you can see it coming up to about 11 feet. I'll bring it to 11 feet. Oh, it's just chirped. So here's my lure at 11 feet, the real solid red-green mark. And you can see it moving. There's all kinds of fish checking it out. Listen to it chirp. It's chirping her head off. Yeah, and it has all kinds of fish checking out my lure. It's probably the shiners and the rainbow smelts. There's rainbow smelts in here, a couple different species of shiner. So it could be just bait fish following the lure around. But that's me at 11 feet. You can see it move as I jig up and down. You can see it moving around right here. Yeah. There's a fish down there. Around 6 feet, something like that. Yep, got a fish. Fish is about 6 feet. So we're using this little tungsten jig head with a piece of dead shiner on it. So the last couple of years I've been working on a video project for YouTube, for my channel. About the top 5 lures or top 5 jigging methods or tactics for catching brook trout through the ice. And I'm up to 4 different lures so far. This would make the 5th tactic or 5th lure jig setup, if you will, for brook trout. If I can catch brook trout on this, then that'll complete my project. Then I can edit and produce and edit and like put together that video, the top 5 lures for jigging brook trout through the ice. That's what we're trying to do. Oh yeah, so this little tungsten jig head with a dead shiner might complete that video project I've been working on. I'm hoping. There it goes to the bottom. Stop about 8 feet. It's getting a lot of activity down there. That's my jig head and shiner right there, that red. There we go. You can see it falling. There it is now, near 6 feet. It's caused all kinds of disturbance. I think there's a lot of bait. I think there's a lot of rainbow smelts and shiners down there. So there I am around 6 feet. I'm right there. But man, look at all the noise. A lot of disturbance there. It's starting to rain. That's alright, that won't stop me from fishing. Got all these waterproof cameras. Yeah, a little rain won't keep me from ice fishing. So I'm trying to complete that video. The 5 top jigging lures for jigging brook trout through the ice fishing. All of that noise, all that interference right there, I think is bait fish and stuff swimming around. That red mark right there is my jig head. You can see it go up and down. You can see it go from like 7 feet to 6 feet. There's been a fish hanging out around the 8.5, 9 foot mark. That fish has been there all day. It's been checking it out, going up and down, checking out my jig head, the dead shiner. And there's been, every now and then, there's been a couple fish hanging out around the 3 foot mark too. I think right now there's like a school of rainbow smelt down there. Possibly just some shiners. If we go to Fish Finder, let's see here. So if I hit let's see, I hit this back arrow, hit that. There's the home screen. I can click up on these arrows and hit the check mark to select traditional. Oh yeah, see? Look at them all. The bait fish. The small little orange fishies are small. The blue are medium size, or probably a little bit larger fish. On this Garmin Striker 4, those little fish symbols get bigger and change color with the different size fish. The small orange one is the smallest of like bait fish, like shiner size, probably shiner size fish. The blue is probably medium size, shiner smelt size type fish, like 6-inch fish. Maybe fish from 3 to 8 inches, 3 to 6 inches would be your blue. The orange would be your fish from like 1 to 3 inches in size, like shiners. And then I've seen the larger purple colored fish symbol would be your bigger fish from 8 inches and over, 8 to 12, 14 inches plus. And then these little fish symbols get bigger and change color depending on the different size fish. So traditional fish finder is showing a bunch of bait fish down there. As I suspected, that's what all that noise, all that interference is on the flasher. That's what all this is up here, all these little extra marks. That's my jig head, that red, green, yellow, that bigger mark. This is the red green color scheme that I chose that on the color patterns, color scheme for my interface for the flasher screen. The green red color scheme. Yeah, you can see me going up and down with my jig head. A little red. All them other marks, the light green, dark green marks are fish. Just a bunch of bait fish right now. Let's see if it calms down. So that's my lure at about 8 feet. There's a fish hanging out down there. Let's see if that flasher calms. There's all that noise, all them other marks I think are bait fish and stuff. But there is something down there. Something of size. It's probably a nice trout. Oh, I thought I heard bells. I thought I just got a tip up. Yeah. All right. There we go. You can see my lure pretty good now. Oh, I hear bells. There's something down there. Checking it all out. Hopefully I catch it. Whatever it is. It's right there near, like, now it's a little deeper. It went from being like at 8.5 feet to below 9, almost near bottom. Whatever it is. Oh, I'm hoping to get a tip up. I'd like to catch a nice feisty little brook trout. Oh, there's something at 6 feet. Oh, I've got a flat, I got a tip up. Got me a, yes. Let's go get it. Nice. All right, let's go. Got one. Very good, very good. Very good. Yeah, set her up. Get her open and focused. That's good. Get her recording. Oh, good. Good deal. Deal. I got it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Oh no, we freaked me out. Nothing but weeds. Something grabbed it. So go get the bait.